Welcome back. Debbie, it's great to have you on Community Champions.
Glad to be here.
I know there are a lot of things that we can talk about, but the first thing I want to know is who am I talking to today? Which personality do I have? Do I have Mama Jama? Do I have the Bee? Do I have Debbie? Who have I got?
Well, whoever you'd like to address your question to.
Well, let's start with Debbie, the head of the CLCP. How about that? Is that okay?
That'll be good.
Very good. Now, I know you've been working with that. Tell us a little bit about the CLCP and how it came about and how you got involved.
Okay, CLCP stands for Certified Literate Community Program, and it's a state initiative that was begun in the state of Georgia over 10 years ago. And part of the reason for the program is because our governor, Zell Miller, had looked at the statistics and he saw that a lot of our residents didn't have a GED or high school diploma. So this is a state-initiated program to address that problem, and it has sort of snowballed to become a program from cradle to grave with us in Troup County to address all those issues.
Well, good. Now, how did you get involved?
Well, as being part of the Board of Education, I was dealing with the students in the schools, and then I became a tutor for an adult, and so that brought in another section of the community. And then I saw where the young mothers needed help with reading to their children, and so it was just a natural step for me to apply for the job.
And the program is designed to bring us up to a certain level of literacy in a period of time. Right. Is that right?
The state gives us a 10-year period to reach over 7,000 adults. On the statistics, we got that number from the census, the 2000 census, and over 15,000 residents in Troup County do not have a high school diploma or a GED. And so to be part of the Certified Literate Community Program, you have to reach half that number plus one to be a certified literate community.
Okay. And how about a progress report? How are we doing?
We're great. We're a little bit over the line. We've been working at this for 2 years, and the first year we reached over 780, and the second year we reached over 780. So we're on target.
Very good. And I know a lot of that has to do with your leadership. I know you're out there in the community. People know what you do, and you bring that enthusiasm to it. And that's why you're one of the community champions for sure.
Well, I don't feel like I do anything any different than anyone else in the community. We all have something that that we have a passion for, and I just happen to have a passion for literacy. And
it shows.
Well, thank you.
Well, another personality that you have that I'm real interested in is Mama Jama.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about that. Of course, that show runs from West Georgia Technical College, and it's produced here, same people that are doing our show. Tell us a little bit about how you started as Mama Jama and how that developed.
Well, Mama Jama is biblical, I like to tell everyone, and then they look at me and say, what kind of Bible are you reading? But it started at Vacation Bible School at the First Presbyterian Church. They had asked me to do the Bible story for the children, and at that time my son was in that group, and he said, oh, Mama, do snacks, do crafts, don't do Bible story. Nobody wants to go to Bible story. So I thought, I'm just going to make this real interesting, and so I want to come. And the theme was a safari theme, and Mama Jama, the storytelling mama, just came out of that. So.
And that's where the costume and all came from.
Yeah, that's where the costume came from. And then when West Georgia Tech was starting the video production department, Dr. Gilly and I had talked about maybe doing something to reach out to the community, to the children who don't have books in their home, or they don't have anyone to read them books if they have them. And so part of the Mama Jama Show's initiative is to read books so the children can hear the literature and see the stories, and have someone to read them stories.
Now, were you doing that before? Did you do that some in the schools? Had you done it some before you did this?
Yeah. Well, from church, some of the teachers asked me to come to the schools and read stories, and so I went to the churches and to different groups, and so it just sort of blossomed. And thanks to West Georgia Technical College and the city of LaGrange, we're able to reach more people in the community.
Yeah. Now, to jump to the third personality, the Bee.
The B.
And that's the most recognizable one I know. And
you have to be
do
part
I
of
have
the
to have
yes,
do I have to have this on while we're
yes.
doing it?
We just
I don't know what this is going to do for my image, but
That's right. Well, it'll do wonders. Let me tell you.
People will be calling me,
They
right?
will. People will be calling you. We just had our 7th annual corporate community spelling bee, and this is one way that we raise funds for the CLCP to provide literacy resources and supplies to the community. It's an adult spelling bee, and we just had, like I said, we just had it, and the Junior Service League Sustainers won the title to be champions for a year.
Now, we should have done this earlier so we could announce that, but we were a little late on getting our program together. There are a number of different ways that you raise funds.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about those. I know you've got the spelling bee is probably the major one, but there's some other things as well.
There are. Since this is a state-initiated program, it's one of those programs that they say this is a good idea, take it to your community and see if they can support it. And our community, of course, you know, I just love Troup County. Whenever you bring an opportunity before them that will help the whole community, they all pitch in. We receive funds through the 3 fundraisers that we have, the spelling bee, and in the fall we have Legging It for Literacy, which is a fun run, and then in the spring we have Lobbing It for Literacy, which is a tennis tournament.
Okay, so that's not the only thing. Now, I may want to go to another personality so I can take off my
okay.
my bee things there. I don't know, they kind of bother me, but just kind of looking around. Now, what are some of the other programs that the CLCP supports?
Well, some of the other programs, we direct adults to the GED programs here at West Georgia Technical College, and some of the funds that we use will provide GED scholarships for students who are in need of paying for the GED test. It's a $55 charge to take the test, but the literacy resources and services are free. They can come here and take classes free. The supplies are free. The only charge will be for the GED test, and we don't want that to be an obstacle to these residents that need this, and so we have funds that will pay for that. Literacy Volunteers of America tutors adults. If we have some adults that need some help with their reading skills, they can provide one-on-one tutoring free of charge. And once they get that step behind them, then they can come and sign up for the GED classes and then get that step and then take the test.
Okay, so if somebody is watching and they want to, they need the services, who do they call?
Well, they can call me here at West Georgia Technical College, the 845-4323, extension 5726, or just call and ask for adult literacy, and that will get you to Kevin Kane. And
Okay.
he can provide the information also. And Charlotte Anderson with Literacy Volunteers of America, or Literacy Volunteers of Troup County, I think they changed the name of it, can also direct you to the help that you need.
So there are a lot of ways that people can find the services if they need them.
Right.
Another real important thing too is, if some of our viewers are watching and they would like to get involved, what are some of the ways that they can be involved with this program? Obviously, they could give money, but there are other ways I know from a volunteer standpoint.
That's right. We always need volunteers. We're one of those organizations that really runs on volunteers. We need volunteers. We have a Books for Babies program that we mentor young mothers, and especially the mothers who don't have their GED or high school diploma. We have a mentor that will call them once a week and ask them about reading to their baby, because it is important to start reading to that baby just from the very beginning so that it can hear your voice and hear the language. And we encourage that mother to read to her baby. Take them to the library, just expose them to a lot of literacy. So we need mentors for that. We need tutors for our children in schools through Communities in Schools, and all of these programs have training programs. And I've had people who tell me, you know, I just don't know if I could do that, if I could help someone. But if you can read to someone who can't read, you're the best reader in the whole world.
Yeah.
So, you know, all it takes is a heart to want to help make a difference in someone else's life.
Yeah.
And, you know, we need tutors for the adults also.
I know I saw a lady here who was in the Eagles program who was, I think she was in her 60s, and she had learned to read, and that was the greatest thing that ever happened to her. She said that being able to read to her grandchildren was one of the greatest things that had ever happened.
Right.
So it's obvious that you do a tremendous service for the community, and we appreciate your volunteer work.
Well, it's a community that does, I mean, this is a program that inspires the community to get involved. I mean, I want to mention one other thing. This program inspired a high school student 2 years ago to want to do something for literacy, Brooke Oliver. And she came up with this dictionary project. She approached some sponsors and CLCP, and we gave dictionaries to all the third graders in Troup County. And so we've been able to do that for 2 years, and it's just from a teenager wanting to get involved and help someone. So this is a program that inspires the corporate sponsors to sponsor the spelling bee, to be involved with that, to sponsor, you know, the Legging It for Literacy. It inspires other people, and if they just do one thing that'll help somebody, you know, we'll make our goal.
When other people begin to see what's going on, they get excited about it.
Right, right. I mean, it is exciting. It is exciting.
Well, we're getting down to the end of our time, and I know you and I could talk about a lot of other things. Have I missed anything that you want to tell people about? I know your excitement about the literacy program and what's going on, and we're making good progress.
We are, and if anyone knows anyone that needs any help, if you would just, you know, approach them and just tell them that you know of the free resources that are available. What we found out is 90% of the residents that need these resources aren't aware that they're available. And that's one reason I dress up like a bee and buzz around in Mama Jama to try and get the word out that we do have resources available. And if you'll just offer that person support. Fear is the #1 thing that keeps folks from coming back to work on their GED. They're afraid of failure. They failed, you know, in school, or they failed somewhere else. So just support someone and give them that little nudge.
And give them that encouragement. And we can give that number again. Give that number again. I'm sure they'll have it on the screen for them. But give that number again where people can call if they need these services.
Okay, it's 845-4323, extension 5726.
Okay. Debbie, it's been great to have you on, even if I did have to wear my bee's antenna.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you spell that?
I don't even want to try that. You noticed I didn't participate in the spelling bee. I did 3 or 4 years ago, and my team went out in the first round, so I kind of thought maybe it's probably not a good thing for me to do.
But didn't you have fun?
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed watching those other people go down after we went down.
That's right. Well, and that's the kids. I want the kids to see that adults, we promote lifelong learning, that you don't stop learning once you finish school, that adults keep learning too.
Yeah. Well, it's been great to have you with us, and we hope you'll come back. I'm sure you will. We maybe get you in full costume next time.
That's right. Mama Jama or Debbie will be glad to come.
That would be great. My guest has been Debbie Burdett, the Executive Director of the Troup County Certified Literate Program.